Wait, a whale following a ship for days? That's right, and when the crew finally discovered the reason, everyone was left speechless. Stay with me until the end, because this story will touch your heart in ways you can't even imagine. But before I tell you everything, if you love real stories about the incredible connection between humans and animals, hit that like button right now, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss any emotional stories like this one. The mystery that intrigued the entire crew. Picture this scene. You're working on a cargo ship, doing your normal route across the ocean, when someone shouts, "Something's following us!" First reaction? Probably fear, right? But wait, because the story gets even better. The crew started noticing a constant presence. Day after day, something huge was swimming alongside the ship. It wasn't aggressive, wasn't trying to attack, it was simply following, as if it had a specific purpose. The sailors got curious, obviously. Some thought it was coincidence. Others started getting worried, but nobody expected to discover what was really happening. When the truth came to light, after 3 full days of being followed, the crew managed to better identify the creature. It was a humpback whale. But it wasn't just any whale. This one had very specific markings, and that's when one of the older crew members had a revelation. Years before, that same ship had participated in a rescue operation. A young whale was completely tangled in fishing nets, fighting for its life. The situation was desperate. The nets were cutting into its skin, it could barely move, and time was running out. Can you imagine that animal's desperation? Trapped, injured, not understanding what was happening? The crew at that time made a courageous decision: stop the ship and do everything possible to save that whale. For hours they worked carefully, cutting the nets, freeing the creature from the deadly traps. And now comes the part that will give you chills. The whale following them was exactly the same whale they had rescued years ago. The marks and scars were unmistakable. But wait, it gets even more incredible. You know what that whale did when it realized the crew had recognized it? It started getting even closer to the ship, swimming in circles, jumping out of the water, as if it were saying thank you. As if it were saying, "Hey, remember me? You saved my life." If you're finding this emotional, drop that like right now and comment below. Do you believe animals can really feel gratitude like this? The science behind animal memory. Now, you must be thinking, is this really possible? Can animals remember specific humans after years? The answer is yes. And science proves this in fascinating ways. Humpback whales have extremely developed brains. They possess specialized brain cells called spindle neurons, the same cells that we humans have and that are associated with memory, emotions, and social recognition. Studies show that whales can recognize specific individuals even years later, remember locations where they encountered danger or help, form lasting emotional bonds, demonstrate behaviors that indicate gratitude. But there's more. There are dozens of documented cases of whales and dolphins that returned to interact with people who helped them. This isn't just coincidence, it's real emotional memory.
Other incredible stories of animal gratitude. And since we're talking about this, you need to know that this isn't the only story of its kind. There's the case of a diver in California who freed a gray whale trapped in ropes. The whale stayed with him for almost an hour after the rescue, gently pushing him with its nose, as if it were hugging him. Or the story of that dolphin in New Zealand that guided a group of swimmers away from a great white shark that was approaching. Why? Years before, local fishermen had helped that same dolphin when it got caught in a net. If you're loving these stories, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Every day there's new content about the incredible connection between humans and animals. what we can learn from this. You know what's most beautiful about this whole story? It shows us something fundamental. Every action we take matters. That crew could have ignored the trapped whale, could have thought it's not our problem or we'll waste too much time. But they chose to act, chose to help, and years later, that choice came back to them in a way they never imagined. This makes me think about how many opportunities we have every day to make a difference, whether helping an animal, a person, or simply being kind when nobody's watching. The message that crosses oceans. This whale's story went viral worldwide because it touches on something universal. The capacity to feel gratitude transcends species. It doesn't matter if you're human, whale, dog, or cat. When someone saves your life, you don't forget. And look, there are still people who say animals don't have feelings, that they only act on instinct. But how do you explain a whale specifically following the same ship that saved it years later? It's not instinct, it's memory, it's emotion, it's recognition. How you can make a difference. You don't need to be on a ship in the middle of the ocean to impact an animal's life. There are small actions that make a huge difference. If you see an animal in danger, whether it's a trapped bird, a lost dog, or even a turtle trying to cross a busy street, you can be the hero of its story. Support animal rescue organizations. Adopt instead of buying. Spread awareness about marine preservation. Every action counts. The reunion nobody will forget. Going back to our incredible whale, the crew reported that it followed them for 2 more full days. Not as a threat, but as company, like an old friend who shows up unexpectedly to say hi. When the ship finally changed route, heading into deeper waters, the whale made one last spectacular leap, as if it were saying goodbye, and went on its way. Several crew members said that was one of the most emotional moments of their careers at sea. Some confessed to crying, and hey, who can blame them, right? Why this story touches us so much? There's something profoundly human about wanting to believe that our acts of kindness don't disappear into the void, that when we help someone or some animal, it really matters. This whale is living proof that it does matter. It swam for miles, followed for days, just to reunite with those who gave it a second chance at life. If that doesn't inspire you to be kinder to the world around you, I don't know what will. The final reflection.
So, let's recap this incredible journey. A whale almost died trapped in nets. Courageous humans risked time and effort to save it. Years later, that same whale recognized the ship and decided to give back the only way it knew how, with its presence, its joy, its gratitude. This reminds us that we live on a shared planet, that we're not the only beings capable of feeling, remembering, and loving, that empathy has no species boundaries. Your turn to participate. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever had a memorable experience with an animal? Do you believe animals can truly feel gratitude? Do you know other stories similar to this one? Leave it in the comments. I love reading your stories and interacting with you all. And don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and turn on notifications to get alerted every time a new story drops. Share this video with that friend or family member who loves animals. This is a story that deserves to be spread around the world. Until the next incredible story, and remember, every act of kindness creates ripples you can't even imagine where they'll reach. Just like this whale that crossed oceans to say thank you. Big hug, and see you in the next video.